Welcome back to an Out of the Park 24 video. In this video, we're going to simulate the 2023 season. We're at the end of the regular season here, and see if Out of the Park can once again predict the correct World Series. I say once again because I did this video in Out of the Park 22 as well, so assuming the 2021 season. And I did it at the beginning of the season, and in that sim, my one sim, the Braves beat the Astros 4-2 in the World Series, which is what happened in real life. And somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the Braves were not the powerhouse they are considered to be now in 2021. I think that it was a year where they were expected to definitely take a step forward, but for it wasn't a super predictable. It was a believable but not like predictable outcome. So anyway, so I've got a track record here. I'm 1 for 1 in my sims, or Out of the Park, I should say, is 1 for 1 in the sims of predicting the World Series correctly right down to the games. So at the end of the regular season, let's go through and see what's going on. Then we'll do the postseason and then awards. So all of the wildcard teams came from the AL East. The Rays won the division with 95 games, and then O's second place 92 and 70. Yankees 91 wins, and then the Blue Jays 88. The Red Sox not bad at 84 wins, but they're in the AL East, so womp womp. And then the Twins are the only team out of the Central making it, and then the only team out of the West is the Mariners, 92 wins. So Astros fans, I'm sure everybody's disappointed to see that you didn't make it at 80 and 82. I don't. That would be a surprising outcome in real life this season, I think, even with the Altuve injury. The NL East was the Mets, the Braves, and a bunch of bad teams. The Phillies unloaded a bunch of guys at the deadline. A bad season for them. The NL Central was horrible, other than the Cardinals' 93 wins and a nice 69 losses. The Brewers were then the next best team with 73 wins. The Dodgers and the Giants made it from the West, and then the Padres grabbed the last wild card spot with a record of 80 and 82. Now, why did a team? And they also don't have Blake Snell anymore. They traded him. I'll look into that. They have Tyler Mahle, who they got from. So some weird stuff going on here. But anyways, Tatis came back, and he was good. 3.5 WAR, 130 WRC plus, but not like MVP. Soto had an excellent season with 5.1 WAR, 171 WRC plus. Manny did not have a good year, just an 85 WRC plus. There's a star missing here. Xander. Xander went out. Xander went in July and was having a really good season. 3.7 WAR through 91 games, and he missed the rest of the year. So that's no fun. And they got Musgrove. So what was this trade that they brought? Oh, they traded Cronenworth. Do they have Cronenworth's contract in here? No, not yet. They traded Cronenworth for Mahle, and a couple prospects, I think, Luciano. But yeah, so a weird season for them, but they still made the postseason with 82 wins. So congrats to them. Yeah, I think the Cardinal. I don't think this is. I think this could happen in the NL Central. I'd be surprised if all the teams are this bad. Not the Pirates or the Reds, but the Cubs and the Brewers. I don't think they'll be quite that bad. It seems like everything went wrong for them. Is Cody Bellinger still around? No, I don't see him. Trey Mancini is, though. Is Bellinger on the IL? Yeah. Oh, fractured foot. Pete Crow Armstrong's on the IL. So what was their... Oh, they're 14th in runs scored and runs against their 10th. So just bad all-around season. For the Cubs. But let's focus on the Orioles here, obviously. The Orioles won 92 games, and they made a bunch of trades, which were kind of wild. You can see Trevor Story is their leadoff hitter. They absorbed his entire contract, and they traded John Means and Jordan Westberg. The Orioles would never do this trade in real life. I would say, given Story's age and the injuries he's accumulating, it's not too crazy to say over the next 5 years Westberg might be a better major league player than Story. I know that's not the likely outcome, but I think it's possible. And given the fact that Westberg's going to make the league minimum for 3 years, and Story's making this money, the Orioles would never make this trade. But they made it here. They brought in Jorge Polanco. They traded somebody decent here too. Michael Givens, that's fine. But they traded Joey Ortiz, I think, for Josiah Gray. They traded Heston Kjerstad. They traded a good number of their prospects and didn't land impact players. They have not extended Gunnar or Adley, much like real life. They did extend Ryan Mountcastle to a 5-year, $58.7 million deal. I hope they sink that money into a catcher or shortstop / third baseman, Adley or Gunnar, not Mountcastle in real life. But hey, but yeah. So let's look at the statistics here. We'll get the leaders, and then we'll go into the sortable to take a deeper dive. Tim Anderson won the batting crown in the AL. NL looks like it was Jeff McNeil. Judge and Alonso topped the home runs. Oh, Nolan Gorman, 41 home runs. Judge and Alonso also topped the ribbies. Juan Soto on base. Let's look at WAR here. Vaughn Grissom will put up 6 WAR for the Braves, so the joke's on the Braves for sending him down. Byron Buxton was clearly healthy all season. 157 games, 7.7 WAR. No other, there's no, wow name here, but there are some that we'll get into as we sort it that are kind of wild, like Jamer Candelario. Jamer Candelario put up a really nice season and was traded to the Dodgers. So we'll look at that more in a minute. Let's see what else. Juan Soto walked 127 times, led the league with a 178 OPS plus. Him and Judge were kind of, in terms of hitters, head and shoulders above everybody else. The Angels were bad, and they did not trade Ohtani. So I don't know what they're doing. Pitching leaders, I don't think there's anything too crazy here in terms of the leaders. I think this WAR leaderboard could very believably be, something similar to this could happen in 2023. Fried led the league in ERA. You can see DeGrom was clearly healthy with the 7 WAR. He put up 33 starts. I'm sure the Rangers would take that in real life. Burns threw 249 innings and Woodruff 229, and they were bad, which is kind of surprising. Pretty good season from Burns. Woodruff had a good season too. All right, fair enough. Max Fried with a 161 ERA plus. So let's go to sortable stats here. We're looking at pitchers. Why don't we look at batters? Jamer Candelario was leading the NL. I want to say it was August in WAR with 5.5. And then he I guess he just faded down the stretch. So he's with the Nats. He'd put up 4.7 WAR in 96 games, and then right around the trade deadline was traded for Andy Pages, who's a pretty decent outfield prospect. I think, is he still pretty decent? Yeah, he's number 90 in this game. So a good get for the Nats on a career year from Candelario. No crazy names up here. Vaughn Grissom, obviously, he'll win Rookie of the Year. I think Gunnar, quite likely the AL Rookie of the Year, even though he only played 137 games because of an injury, but put up 5.2 WAR. Bryson Stott is a surprise name here with 5.1 WAR. Ryan McMahon. Yeah, but the rest of these names are all, there's not even Stephen Kwan, but Christian Arroyo put up 4.2 WAR. And then home runs, Nolan Gorman we already covered. Joey, is it Meneses? The old dude with the Nats. The guy who came into the league late, who's actually much younger than me, so I shouldn't call him an old dude. So he had 35 home runs between the Nats and the Mariners. Good for him. Good for Caba Joey, as they call him. Good season from Andrew Vaughn. Love to see it. Santander, Candelario. But we're not getting Billy Hamilton on the leaderboards or anything here. Vinny P, Yoshida, Seth Brown, 29 home runs. Good to see a bounce back year from Trey Mancini. League average bat with 29 home runs for a bad Cubs team. Let's look at the pitching leaders. Oh, oops. Oh, wrong thing. Let's look at the pitching stats. All pitchers. See if there's anybody that was just off the leaderboard. Nestor Cortez, a nice season for him. Jalen Beeks as a reliever, 3.4 WAR in Tampa. Wow. He started 2 games through 75 innings and had a 1.7 ERA, 2.19 FIP, and he struck out 14 guys per 9. That's pretty good. Drew Rasmussen. Justin Steele for the Cubs, 3.1 WAR. It's good season good season for the yeah. Why were the Cubs so bad with these pitching seasons they had? Oh, that's right. Their offense is terrible, but still, like even their pitching wasn't that good overall. There's Ohtani. So what did Ohtani do? Ohtani put up only a 103 WRC plus 1.5 WAR. So not a great season of the bat. Pretty good. I mean, okay. He was actually. I mean, he's around league average in ERA and FIP. Yeah, not a great season for Ohtani as he goes into free agency. Oh, there was. Remember, Julio Rodriguez did not have a good year here. Where is he? And they still won 92 games, which is really something. I mean, well, he had a great defensive season because he put up 3.2 WAR, but only a league average bat, 98 WRC plus, 103 OPS plus, so right around league average. But their pitching was really good. Second in runs against starters the year was first. Looks like Castillo, Kirby, Gilbert, Ray were all really good to make up for the fact that Julio wasn't very good. It was Kelenic. Oh, Kelenic had I think the Mariners would gladly take a 111 WRC plus out of Kelenic at this point this season with how his career has gone so far. So that's the regular season. Oh, let's look at the trades actually. Scan the trade log. Some of them we've already covered. This was interesting. Minnesota and the Tigers traded basically Matt Manning for Brooks Lee, which is an interesting trade. And I'm sure I'll miss some of them scanning here, so you guys can yell at me in the comments with the really big trades that I just kind of scanned by here. The O's traded Reed Trimble. Eric Lauer went to the Twins. Blackburn went to the Yankees. This is a fun trade. The Twins and Dodgers traded Sonny Gray for Max Muncy. That's pretty fun. There's the Story trade, Candelario trade. Oh, Dalton Varsho went to the the Guardians for these three players. That would be surprising if he got traded this year, right after they acquired him. Let's see. Like I said, I'm sure I'm missing some. Adam Duvall went from the Red Sox to the Rangers. Spencer Turnbull went to the Rays. There's a big Cronenworth trade. It's a lot of trades here. I think I might need to turn down the trade frequency if they don't fix it in a patch. Oh, Evan Longoria went to Texas. Here's a big one. Aaron Nola for three prospects, retaining 80% of his salary to the Giants. And I think they traded Wheeler here somewhere too. Tanner Scott from former Oriole went from Miami to Toronto. There's the Wheeler trade. Wheeler was just, they retained 100% and they got one prospect for him. Some other trades in here. There's the Blake Snell trade. He went to Houston. So I want were the Padres punting or something? I don't know. And then ended up making the postseason. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, he was a free agent, so, but still weird that they would trade him mid-season like that. Yastrzemski and Black to Chicago for Lucas Giolito. That's a pretty big deal. Man, the Giants stocked up. They stocked up. They got Giolito and Nola. Wow. Wait, that's not. Wait, this isn't Jason Dominguez, right? What? Get out of here. So they traded. Los Angeles got Clay Holmes and Jason Dominguez for Gio Urshela. What? That trade makes absolutely no sense. Oh, it took me back to the top of the log. It's a little annoying. Okay, well that's a ridiculous trade. James Paxton got traded to Chicago. Man, that one trade, that Angels Yankees trade sure is something. There's Jansen went to the Yankees there. Kenley Jansen. Nelson Lamet was traded. And that's the answer to the trade. So, all right, so that's the regular season. Now I'll sim up through the postseason so we can see it's basically a spoiler alert coming next. It's who's going to win the World Series in real life, since there's a perfect track record in this video series each year of being 1-for-1. So let's go ahead and see the spoilers. All right, you guys are going to have to trust me. I did this one time. This is a one-time sim. And out of the park has the Orioles beating the 80-win Padres in 7 games in the World Series. And like I said, this is guaranteed to come true because of the fact that this is exactly that the sim I did in Out of the Park 22 is exactly what ended up happening in the 2021 MLB postseason. So an early congratulations to your future real-life World Series champs and current Out of the Park World Series champs, the Baltimore Orioles. Congrats to Orioles fans everywhere, especially me. I don't really know how this happened, but I guess it was worth trading for Trevor Story. I mean, I'm still just a little dumbfounded here that the Orioles are going to win the World Series in real life this year. Just oops, that's not the right split we want. Postseason. So who tore it up? Oh, Ramon Urias was on fire. Trevor Story on fire. Gunnar returned and was on fire. Mateo played some. Oh, Mateo hit the bench with Story, Henderson, and Urias in the infield. Rutschman was good. Santander, Frazier, Mountcastle. Was anybody bad? So Polanco and Mullins were both pretty bad. Here's the postseason. What kind? Do we have some ridiculous ERAs? Ridiculously good ERAs. Oh, we had a bunch of guys who didn't. Let's go by innings here. So Grayson was decent. Kyle Gibson had a really good ERA. Keegan Aiken was good. Rough from Tyler Wells. Bautista pretty good. Yeah, it looks like hitting was their thing. They won the last game 4-3 in extras. Oh wow. How did they? Was it a home run in extras? No, it was not a home run. But it was. Oh, they were down 3-0. And then Adley hit a 2-run homer in the 7th, and then Santander a solo shot in the 8th. Grayson pitched okay, and then the bullpen shut it down. How did they walk this thing off though? Huh? Maybe we're not going to know. Game log isn't working. I didn't think I had game logs going for this sim, to be honest. But it's not working here. So it looks like Trevor Story drove in the run, and it must have been maybe a single or a walk because he has the other RBI. So Story, it looks like, likely scored Mullins. So that's pretty awesome. Congrats to the Orioles. And just really excited to see this play out in real life. What else happened here? So the O's swept the Yanks 2-0. Then they beat the Rays 3-1. Squeaked by the Mariners in 7, and then squeaked by the Padres in 7. The Mariners just barely outlasted the Twins. The Padres beat the Mets 3-2. The Braves swept the Dodgers. So that's the World Series. These are your World Series champion Orioles. So next we'll seeing if there's any names that we missed here. All right, looks about right. No, John Means gets his name on the trophy. Gets his name on the Stanley Cup. So now I'll go ahead and sim up through award season to see what happens there. But, you heard it here first. Orioles over Padres in the 2023 World Series. All right, now for the awards. The Gold Gloves here in the AL. Kyle Muller, of course, the Gold Glove winner at pitcher. Trevino, Diaz, Espinal. Some upsets here, I'd say. Fair, right? Ramon Urias, we should say World Series champion. Ramon Urias repeats as the Gold Glover at third base. Correa, Kwan, Siri, Tucker, Jose Siri really just piling it on here to Astros fans. Now their former center fielders winning Gold Gloves after they missed the postseason. NL, this looks a little bit more like, I guess, like what you might expect to happen. Murphy, Goldschmidt, McMahon, Arenado, Swanson across the infield, and then Reynolds, Robles, and Peterson in right field. And now the top reliever, Jalen Beeks, not a surprise what we saw from him. 2 Orioles here, though. Keegan Aiken, Felix Bautista. Hogan Harris is not a player I'm familiar with, but he put up a good season between Oakland and Tampa. And made the All-Star team and was the second best reliever in baseball, apparently. So the Rays bullpen really good this year. Oh, only 3 relievers in the NL getting votes. Taylor Rogers taking the award. Halsey and Phillips also getting some votes. 70 innings and 2.8 R WAR. The 1.66 ERA and a 2.85 FIP from Taylor Rogers. That's pretty good. Platinum Stick, which is Silver Slugger. Langoliers. Wow, a good season in Oakland for him. Vlad, not surprising. Christian Arroyo, I would say, is a pretty big surprise at second base. Devers, Wander, Yordan Alvarez, Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. He didn't even have that good of a season. Maybe that many guys weren't eligible at DH because he had a pretty bad season, but not a lot of shocking names there. Here, Real Mito, Alonso, Stott, and Candelario we covered, and Grissom. All, I would say none of these guys are the favorites to win it in real life. Soto, Dylan Carlson, a nice season. Mookie Betts, Nolan Gorman considered a DH with his 41 home runs. And Rookie of the Year, not surprising, Gunnar Henderson getting 27 of the 30 first place votes. Yoshida, what did Yoshida do? 2.2 WAR, 121 WRC plus. Anthony Volpe only put 124 games, put up 3 WAR. Good season from him. And then our guy Hogan Harris here, the reliever. In the NL, James Outman of the Astros put up a 109 WRC plus and 2.8 WAR to bring home the Rookie of the Year, apparently. This is a guy, I think I know the name, was not somebody I expected to. He was a 7th-round pick in 2018. Not a guy that I would expect to win Rookie of the Year in real life this year. If I've got that all wrong, you guys can tell me. So Outman, Vargas of the Dodgers, Spencer Steer, and Tovar, Mervis, Corbin Carroll. Oh, not a great season. 109 WRC plus 2.8 WAR. Not a bad season. Definitely not a bad season, but I would say a little under like what people are hoping his ceiling is, obviously. And they've got his contract in here already. That's cool. So a decent first season for Corbin Carroll, but not a star season. Brandon Hyde wins AL Manager of the Year. Snitker in Atlanta won the NL Manager of the Year. One of my favorite players wins the AL Cy Young, Kevin Gossman for the Blue Jays. 5.1 WAR, 7.1 R WAR on a 2.92 ERA and a 3.49 FIP, a 20.7 strikeout to walk percentage. Pretty good season from Goss there. Rodon, Javier, DeGrom, Castillo, Cole, Bieber. Fairly reasonably realistic, unsurprising vote there. Verlander wins it in the NL. Again, a lot of names you'd expect to see here. Verlander threw 222 innings and put up 6.9 R WAR, 4.9 WAR. Good season from him. And then all we've got left is MVP. Judge, unsurprisingly, wins it with those big counting stats he put up, and 7.6 WAR, 59 home runs, 112 RBI. That'll win it. Buxton did not get any first place votes. That's a little surprising. Mountcastle got some votes. Trout, Alvarez, Guerrero, Franco. I mean, this top 6 here could actually be the top 6 in real life if Byron Buxton was healthy all year. Gossman got some votes. Gunnar Henderson, Shohei Ohtani got some votes. Okay. And then Juan Soto, he of the 80-win Padres, wins it for the NL. He had a really good year. Betts, Alonso, Candelario got some votes. Grissom. Yeah, a lot of really believable. I shouldn't say believable. Anything can happen. Randomness is real, but not a lot of unexpected. A lot of very expected names there. So that's the end of this video. Congrats in advance to the Baltimore Orioles on winning the 2023 MLB World Series. Looking forward to coming back to this video in October or November and saying that you heard it here first. Nothing could possibly go wrong to keep the Orioles from winning the World Series in real life. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.